Right now, somewhere in the world, a mother is walking toward a stranger's front door. She is not a person. She is a fox, or a deer, or a stray cat. And in her mouth, or trotting beside her, is her own baby. This happens more than you think. A wild animal with every reason to stay hidden chooses to bring the one thing it protects most in the world straight to a human being. Most people see it and just say, "Oh," but think about that for 1 second. In nature, showing your baby to a bigger species is usually how you get that baby killed. So why would any animal break that rule? For you, most people assume it is just an accident, a mother wandering by chance. But that is not quite right. Researchers who study animal behavior have a name for what is actually happening here. It's called trust transfer. And once you understand it, you will never look at your pets, your backyard, or even yourself the same way again. Because the real answer is not about animals at all. It's about what you, a human, are quietly giving off without even knowing it. Stay till the end, because the last part of this story is going to change how you see every animal that has ever trusted you. Let's start with the most familiar version of this. Your cat disappears for an hour. Then she's back, and there's a kitten in her mouth. Then another. She's not lost. She's not confused. She is choosing, one at a time, to move her most vulnerable offspring into your space. But here's what's fascinating. Cats are famously private about birth. In the wild, a mother cat hides her den and moves it constantly to avoid predators finding the scent. So if she is bringing kittens to you, she has already run the math. She has decided that you are safer than a predator, safer in her mind than nature itself. So what makes an animal reach that conclusion? This is where it gets interesting. Veterinary behavior researchers describe animal trust as something built the same way in almost every species, through repeated positive contact, calm body language, and consistency over time. Every time you fed that stray without expecting anything back, every time you stayed still instead of grabbing, every quiet, boring interaction where nothing bad happened to her was data. Animals are constantly running a threat assessment on you, and you didn't even know you were being tested. But that's only half the story. Because this isn't just a house cat thing. This shows up in the wild too, in places with no leash, no food bowl, no domestication at all. There are documented cases of deer walking fawns up to rural homes, foxes leaving kits near cabins, even birds nesting closer to human porches than to open trees because predators avoid human scent zones. Wait, read that again. Predators avoid you, which means to a fawn or a fox kit or a nest of chicks, you are not the danger. You are the danger repellent. Now here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you a little. Think about what that means from the animal's perspective. For millions of years, the most dangerous shape on Earth to a small creature was a large, upright predator. That's you. That's every human who ever lived. And yet, somewhere along the way, a completely different signal got attached to that same shape. Safety. That switch, prey animals learning that humans can mean protection instead of death, is one of the strangest flips in the entire animal kingdom. And it didn't happen because we're gentle by nature. It happened because enough of us over and over behaved in ways that didn't match the threat. So what killed the old fear? Scientists studying human-animal bonds point to something called generalized trust, where an animal doesn't just trust one person, it starts trusting the category human a little more, especially in places where humans have a track record of not attacking. Every farmer who fed a hurt bird, every kid who left food out for a stray, every stranger who slowed the car for ducklings crossing the road. None of those felt important in the moment, but animals were watching, and they were keeping score across generations. Now imagine you're the mother, not the human, the animal. You have one job that overrides every other instinct you have: keep the baby alive. Every second in the open is a second something could take it. A hawk, a bigger predator, starvation. And somewhere in your instincts, layered under millions of years of danger, there's a newer, stranger signal telling you that one, over there, the human, is not on the predator list. So you make the walk. You carry your baby across open ground, past every warning your body has ever given you because the calculation says this is safer than staying hidden. That's not an accident. That is one of the boldest bets an animal can make. But it might be the strangest part of all when you realize this behavior isn't only about safety, it's about need. Researchers who study interspecies adoption have found animals will sometimes hand off babies or accept babies from other species entirely when the benefit outweighs the risk. A group of wild capuchin monkeys was once documented fully raising an infant marmoset, a completely different species, as one of their own. Bird parents have adopted chicks that hatched in the wrong nest and simply kept feeding them anyway, which tells you something uncomfortable and beautiful at the same time. The drive to protect a baby is sometimes stronger than the instinct to check whose baby it is. And that reframes everything about animals bringing their young to you. It's not really about you being special. It's about a gap, a mother facing a threat, a shortage, an injury, exhaustion, danger she cannot fight alone, and one available resource left on the table. A human who has proven, again and again, to be safe enough to gamble on. You are not being chosen because you're magical. You are being chosen because you are, statistically in that moment, the safest bet on the table. Now compare that to your own life for a second. Think about the last time you trusted someone with something you couldn't protect yourself. Not a secret, something real. A child, a parent in the hospital, your own vulnerable moment. You didn't choose that person because they were perfect. You chose them because, over time, in small, boring, repeated moments, they proved they wouldn't hurt you. That is the exact same math a fox is running when she carries her kit toward your porch light. Trust was never a feeling. It was always a track record. And here's the twist most people miss completely. This isn't animals being naive. It's animals being smarter than we give them credit for. They are pattern recognition machines running a survival algorithm, and somewhere in that algorithm, your species earned a passing grade. Every single time a wild creature brings its baby near a human instead of running, it is casting a vote that says humanity, on balance, has been safe enough to bet a life on. So zoom all the way out. This isn't really a story about cats or foxes or deer. It's a story about what kind of creature you've been without realizing you were being watched. Every quiet act of restraint, every bit of food left out, every moment you didn't reach for a rock instead of reaching out a hand, has been quietly rewriting how the rest of the animal kingdom sees your entire species. You didn't apply for the job of safe one. You earned it, one small, ordinary moment at a time. And that leaves you with an uncomfortable question. If a wild animal, running on nothing but instinct and risk, has decided you're trustworthy enough to carry its most precious thing across open, dangerous ground just to reach you, what does that say about the people in your own life who still don't trust you with theirs? The animals figured it out by watching what you do when nothing is at stake. Maybe the people around you are doing exactly the same thing.